Let's begin today's Vanguard news with Bushiroad screwing over the English secondary market by reprinting once again the original right deck cycle cards from DBT09 and DZSS04. It's going to be a gamble not knowing if this set would even have an English release. Future card Buddy Fight Gown Drum is regarded as Kargaflan. It's kind of funny how Dragon Empire gets the Buddy Fight collab considering Dragon World in their game is the most oversupported world like Lyrical Monasteries in Vanguard. God's part-timer Kanenashi Aruto is regarded as Limina. I don't know the series but this seems like Bushiroad and Koro just threw whatever series was left since this card doesn't invoke dark states in the artwork. Alien Tanakataro is regarded as Habitable Zone. Take note that he's holding a card which depicts himself holding the card that keeps repeating in an infinite loop. Rich police officer Cash is regarded as Spiral Cutie Angel. Not gonna lie, I thought this was Gao after a time skip at first. But then I remembered he became a martial arts teacher and somehow married Paruko instead of becoming a rich cop. I'm the only decent person. Matomo-kun is regarded as Margaret. And just like Margaret being the least relevant cycle card, Bushiroad and Koro just picked a random series for this card without it making sense. And Kaito Joker Queen is regarded as Valshablan. I find it funny that they chose a series that has weaponry in their artwork. It's like if someone from Love Live suddenly brought out a gun. Because DZBT06 will have new Masques units, Bushiroad has screwed the set's pull rates by reprinting Mask of Hydragram. English players didn't need this reprint as we can easily get a copy by buying the ever popular supply gift set. Meanwhile I'm deciding if I should sell my promo card featuring Masanori that I had different fights signed. Speaking of Masques units, Solrairon's Masques form and new supports are the first reveals for DZBT06 thus confirming that these are the least hyped deck in the set. Argon once per turn while on the back row. Rearguard lets you stand itself when your Solrairon Vanguard attacks and have a Dragon Tree marker in the same column as this unit. This would have been a decent restanding booster if not for that Dragon Tree marker requirement. Dragon Tree Branch Degui when placed on Rearguard that isn't on the battle phase lets you pay 1 Soul Blast if you have either a grade 3 or higher Solrairon or Griffo Gila Vanguard to send up to 1 Solrairon card or a Mask of Hydragram from the top 7 cards of your deck into your drop zone. Then look at the top card of your deck and either put it back on top or bottom of your deck. Sending Mask of Hydragram from deck to drop is a good early game setup, but this card implies that you want to run 3 of the old Solrairon, possibly to use for the Masques forms cost. Dragon Tree Wretch Pegasire Shach when placed on Rearguard lets you pay 3 energy to add a Mask of Hydragram from your deck. And while on Rearguard, you can pay 1 Counter Blast and Binding itself to put a Dragon Tree marker on one of your Rearguard circles without one. Then add up to 1 Masques or Griffo Gila card from the top 7 cards of your deck. You search your entire deck instead if your bind zone has 1 or less copies of this card. This is probably one of the best utility cards Dragon Tree has ever gotten, and I assume Dragon Empire will also get a clone of this card for Gandiva Masques. And expect previous Masques decks from other nations like Green and Magnolia to demand a clone of this card as well. Finally, Great Sage of Shield Solrairon Masques can only be ridden from a grade 3 Solrairon card. Once per turn while on Vanguard, you can pay 3 energy and revealing a normal unit card from hand to draw a card, then put the revealed card on top of your deck. Once per turn while on Vanguard, you can remove a Solrairon card with a different name from either your hand, soul or drop zone to declare the top card of your deck to either be a normal or trigger unit. Then give your Vanguard a once per turn auto ability if you declared correct to change the drive check of your Rearguards called by this card's ability to 1, and they can perform drive check this turn. And while on Vanguard, you can pay 1 Counter Blast when he attacks the Vanguard to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then call up to the same number of cards as the number of Dragon Tree markers on your field and putting the rest on top or bottom of your deck in any order. By just having 2 Dragon Tree markers, you can perform up to 5 attacks and 3 drive checks in 1 turn. And all it would cost is 1 Counter Blast and removing the original Solrairon card. This card is efficient on its own, that you technically don't even need his old supports. And those thinking they can use Blasted Dark to get Twin Drive on Rearguard should forget the idea. since the inherited red text would always revert blasted Dark's drive check back to 1. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you're scrambling to get copies of the original Solrairon to play his Masques form.